Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. I bet you didn't expect to be watching a video about a penny that's worth over $1 million today, huh? But here we are. The 2017 D-Mint Mark Lincoln Penny. Yeah, you heard me right, a penny worth $1.1 million. I know, I can see you thinking, there's no way. It's just a penny. But trust me, this coin is a game changer, and I'm about to tell you why. Grab your magnifying glasses and let's dive into this surprising story. Alright, let's rewind to 2017. The US Mint released a series of regular Lincoln pennies with the standard Abraham Lincoln portrait, but one special 2017 D-Mint penny somehow slipped through the cracks and ended up worth more than a shiny new car. You're probably wondering, how did a humble penny get such a high price tag? Well, here's the scoop. First off, let's talk about the D-Mint Mark. The 2017 penny wasn't produced in the massive Philadelphia Mint like many other pennies. Nope, it came from the Denver Mint. You might be thinking, oh, okay, so it's just a coin from Denver, big deal. But when it comes to rare coins, sometimes it's the little details that make a huge difference. Now, this specific penny wasn't just thrown together and shipped out. It was minted during a rare production hiccup, one of those oops moments where the die used to stamp the coins was slightly off-center. That tiny imperfection is what makes this coin so valuable. It's got a mistake that turns it into a treasure. It's like getting a typo in a limited edition book. Sure, the error seems small, but for collectors, it's pure gold, and here's the kicker, not all of these coins are worth $1.1 million. The ones with perfect errors, ones that show the flaw clearly, are the ones fetching top dollar. So, it's all about finding the ones that stand out. If you're lucky enough to come across one of these 2017 D-Mint pennies, you could be looking at an incredible windfall. Let me tell you a little story. A while ago, I was cleaning out my wallet when I noticed a beat-up penny that had been wedged between a few receipts and crumpled bills. It was just an old, dirty penny, right? Wrong. I almost tossed it away, but something told me to hang on to it. Turns out, I had been holding on to a 1968 no-mint Mark penny, which isn't worth $1.1 million, but it's still worth a few $100. So, I might not be buying a mansion yet, but it's a nice reminder that you should always keep your eyes peeled. You never know what kind of treasure you'll find. And now, I'm not saying you should go digging through every old penny you find, but the moral of the story is, keep an eye out. You might be holding on to something way more valuable than you think. Alright, back to the 2017 D-Mint Lincoln penny. As I mentioned before, its current market value is about $1.1 million, and that number is no joke. To give you a little perspective, pennies are typically worth, well, a penny. But rare ones like this are a different breed. Coins like these have made a big splash in the market, with collectors and investors scrambling to get their hands on them, but, like all rare coins, the market fluctuates. Prices can go up or down depending on supply and demand, the condition of the coin, and, of course, how many people are aware of its value. This is why staying updated on trends and learning how to spot valuable coins is so important. If you can get your hands on a 2017 D-Mint penny in pristine condition, you're holding on to something really special. Okay, I know you're wondering how to spot a rare penny like this. It's not like you can just go out and find one under your couch cushions, right? Well, here's how to tell if you've struck gold. The D-Mint mark is key here. It signifies that it came from the Denver Mint. It's a small detail, but a critical one. This isn't just any 2017 penny. You need to look for an off-center strike. This creates a slightly misaligned image or text. If you see something that looks a bit off, hold on to it. This is important. The better condition your penny is in, the higher its value. Coins that are in mint condition, free from scratches, dirt, or damage, are the ones that collectors go crazy for. If you find a 2017 D-Mint penny and you're not sure whether it's worth anything, it's always a good idea to get it appraised. An expert will be able to tell you if you've got a true treasure on your hands. So, what's the moral of the story here? It's simple, never underestimate the power of a penny. With a little knowledge and a sharp eye, you could be holding onto something worth far more than its face value. If you happen to find a 2017 D-Mint penny with the right error, you could be laughing all the way to the bank, but hey, don't stop here. If you love finding rare coins, learning about their history, and discovering strategies to spot treasures, you need to hit that subscribe button. I'll keep bringing you the best tips and tricks for finding coins worth money. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Now, let me hit you with a question. Have you ever found loose change in your couch cushions, or maybe digging through an old jar, and thought, what if I just found a coin worth a small fortune? Well, today we're diving into one of those rare pennies that's worth way more than you think. I'm talking about the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could be sitting in your change jar right now, and it's currently worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. That's not a typo. You heard me right now. I can already hear some of you thinking, a penny? Worth $1 million? Is this guy for real? Well, hang tight, because I'm about to walk you through exactly why this 1972 penny is worth so much, and how you can spot one if you're lucky enough. And if you're thinking, yeah right, I've got a few pennies in my drawer, but no $1 million winners, stick with me, you're in for a treat. So first things first, let's break down this whole 1972 no-mint mark thing. If you're like most people, you probably don't spend a lot of time looking at pennies, right? I mean, who does? You just grab them, throw them in your pocket, or maybe toss them into the nearest wishing well. But here's the thing, that little 1972 penny could be more than just a coin. It could be the ticket to your next vacation, a down payment on a house, or a serious chunk of change. Now, you're probably wondering, why this coin? Why a 1972 penny? And why does the no-mint mark make it special? Well, here's the deal. Back in 1972, the US Mint was cranking out tons of pennies, but there was something a bit unusual going on that year. Most of the pennies were stamped with a D4 Denver, or an S4 San Francisco. But some pennies? Well, they didn't get stamped with any mint mark at all. These are the no-mint mark coins, and let me tell you, when it comes to the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, it's as rare as finding a unicorn. Seriously, the combination of its rarity and the fact that it's in near-perfect condition means collectors are willing to pay top dollar for one. And that's where the $1.2 million comes into play. Yes, $1.2 million for a penny. I mean, what were you doing in 1972? Probably not looking at pennies, but someone was, and they must have been onto something big. I've actually got a little story about a time when I stumbled across a coin that I thought might be worth something. I was at a garage sale, digging through a box of old stuff, and I found a bunch of random coins that looked like they had been thrown together from who knows where. I didn't think much of it at the time, but there was this one coin, a 1970-something penny, that caught my eye. It didn't have a mint mark, and it looked pretty beat up, but I figured, hey, why not take a chance and check it out later? Fast forward to me Googling it and realizing I'd found something that wasn't worth a fortune, but still had some value. Sure, it didn't end up being $1 million coin, but it did teach me a valuable lesson: always check your coins. You never know when you'll find a hidden gem. Alright, back to the 1972 no-mint mark penny. So, these coins are rare, but what really pushes them into the $1 million category is their condition. Let me say it again: condition, condition, condition. A penny in good condition might go for a few $100, but if it's in pristine condition, well, now we're talking. The key is that the penny has to be uncirculated or nearly flawless. If it's got scratches, discoloration, or any major flaws, it's not going to fetch anywhere near the big bucks. You might be wondering, how do I even know if I've got one of these bad boys? The best way to tell is by looking at the date and checking if there's any mint mark, or lack of it, on the reverse side. If you've got a 1972 penny with no mint mark, congratulations. You might just be holding onto a piece of history. But remember, it needs to be in great shape to be worth anything close to $1.2 million. So keep it safe. So, here's the takeaway: that 1972 no-mint mark penny? It's a big deal in the world of coin collectors, and if you happen to stumble upon one in great condition, you could be looking at a life-changing amount of money. But remember, the real value is in the rarity and condition of the coin. Not every 1972 penny is worth a fortune, but the ones that are worth a whole lot. Before we wrap up, I've got a little challenge for you. Start looking through your loose change, check out those pennies you've probably ignored, and who knows? You could have $1 million coin just sitting there. And hey, if you enjoyed today's video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and strategies to help you find coins worth money, and who knows, your next find could be just a click away. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Who knows, maybe you'll be helping them find their own treasure. Hey there, fellow coin collectors and curious treasure hunters. Ever look down at a penny and think, I wonder if this little copper disc could be worth more than just 1 cent? Well, hold on to your magnifying glasses, because today we're talking about a penny that's more than just a penny, the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, and it could be worth a whopping $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.3 million. Mind blown now, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds too good to be true. This guy's either got a wild imagination or he's selling something. But, trust me, I'm not trying to sell you magic beans. We're diving into this rarity because if you've got one of these pennies lying around, you might just be holding a golden ticket. So, grab your favorite snack, get comfortable, and let's unpack the story of this elusive coin. Who knows, by the end of this video, you might be checking your pocket change like you're on a real-life treasure hunt. Alright, let's kick things off by breaking down what exactly makes the 1984 no-mint mark penny so special. The thing is, most of the pennies you'll find are stamped with either the D or S mint marks. D stands for Denver, and S for San Francisco. These mint marks tell you where the coin was produced, right? But in 1984, there was a small batch of pennies that didn't have any mint mark at all. No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, just a blank canvas. And that's where the magic begins. You see, this wasn't supposed to happen. All pennies struck in 1984 were meant to have a mint mark. So when a few coins slipped through the cracks without one, they became incredibly rare. And as you know, rarity plus demand equals big money. But wait, before you rush to dig through your piggy bank or search your loose change jar, let's talk about what makes a 1984 no-mint mark penny worth a fortune. It's all about condition. If you have a penny that's well preserved and in great shape, it could fetch that hefty price tag of $1.3 million at auction. But don't start thinking you'll get rich overnight just by finding one. These pennies aren't exactly hanging out on every street corner. It's more like finding a needle in a haystack. Now, I know what you're thinking, do I really have one of these? Well, it's time to take out that magnifying glass, the one you borrowed from your grandpa's old detective set, and give your pennies a thorough inspection. Look closely at the area where the mint mark should be. If you find an empty space, and the coin is from 1984, congratulations. You've got a rare find on your hands, but let's be real, chances are, you're not going to find one of these beauties just by checking your couch cushions. So, if you do happen to come across a 1984 no-mint mark penny, the next thing you'll want to do is get it appraised by a professional. You might be holding a small fortune, but trust me, you want to make sure that penny's legit before you start making plans to buy that yacht. And here's a fun little story for you. When I first started collecting coins, I thought all the special coins were super obvious, big, shiny, gold-plated things. I thought, surely, that's how they make the expensive ones, right? Fast forward a few weeks, and I came across an old penny that looked just like the ones I had spent in my vending machine habit. But something caught my eye. No mint mark. I thought, nah, this can't be it. It's probably just a mistake or something. But nope, that penny turned out to be a 1955 double die, a major error, worth a lot of money. I'll never forget the feeling when I realized I was holding something far more valuable than just a penny. Moral of the story, never overlook those little coins. They might just surprise you. So, what's the lesson here? If you want to find these coins worth millions, you need to be diligent. And even if you don't stumble upon a 1984 no-mint mark penny today, keep your eyes peeled. Coins can surprise you when you least expect it. You never know what could be hiding in your change jar or, heck, maybe even in your car's cup holder, because we all know that's the real treasure chest. Alright, friends, let's wrap this up. The 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of change, it's a piece of history, a rare gem that could turn your coin collection into a goldmine. But before you go thinking every penny is a millionaire maker, remember, it takes a keen eye, a little research, and maybe a bit of luck. So, check your pennies, check your change, and who knows, the next coin you find could be worth far more than you imagined. And hey, if you love hearing about hidden treasures like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got more tips and tricks coming your way, including how to spot coins that could make you richer than your wildest dreams. Plus, who doesn't love a good treasure hunt, right? So, before you go, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new, drop a comment telling us about your craziest coin discovery, and of course, subscribe for more tips on coins worth money. Hey there, coin lovers! Stop what you're doing right now because I'm about to tell you about a penny that could literally change your life. No, this isn't some find a penny, pick it up, and all day you'll have good luck type of deal. This is the real deal. Imagine stumbling upon a single penny in your pocket, and it turns out to be worth $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. And no, you don't need to have some old great-grandpa who was a coin hoarder for this to happen. Stick around, because today we're diving into the mystery of the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Grab your magnifying glasses and get ready for this wild ride. Now, before you rush to dig through your couch cushions and start yelling "I found it," let's slow down for a second. You might be asking, why is this 1967 penny worth so much money? Good question. After all, it's a penny, right? Just a penny. But trust me, this little guy is hiding a secret that could make you the envy of every coin collector out there. Okay, so here's the deal. When you look at a penny, you might notice that little D or S or maybe nothing at all right under the year. Those are mint marks, and they tell you where the coin was made. The mint mark is like a coin's birth certificate. Now, in 1967, most of the pennies were stamped at the Denver or San Francisco mints. But hold on to your hats, there were a few pennies that didn't get a mint mark at all. These little guys are rare, and when you find one of these in good condition, the value skyrockets. And we're talking about serious money here, like $1.4 million serious. Now, I know what you're thinking. But I've seen 1967 pennies everywhere. And yes, you're right. Most 1967 pennies are worth, well, a penny. But if you've got that no mint mark version, you could be sitting on a treasure chest without even knowing it. So how did I learn about the 1967 no mint mark penny? Well, let me take you back a few years. Picture this, I'm at a garage sale, my favorite place to hunt for hidden gems. You know the drill: old books, vintage furniture, maybe a weird ceramic cat that nobody wants. But I digress. Anyway, I'm casually flipping through a box of loose change when I come across a bunch of 1967 pennies. At first, I think, just another penny. But then I notice one with no mint mark. I mean, it doesn't even have a D or S, just the year. So, I pop it in my pocket and decide to look it up when I get home. And boom, what do I find? $1.4 million. No joke. I mean, how many people can say they've had that kind of luck? I didn't turn it into a fortune just yet, still need to get it authenticated, but the point is this: there's a lot of potential in that small, shiny piece of history that you might have sitting in your change jar. Now, let's talk about why these 1967 pennies are so special. See, the US Mint, in 1967, didn't actually release many of these no mint mark pennies. Why? Well, it turns out there was some confusion at the mint that year, and a few batches got released without mint marks. These rare mint mistakes are exactly why collectors are paying top dollar for them today. And it's not just about the fact that it doesn't have a mint mark, it's about the scarcity, and that makes it so valuable. You might be asking, how do I know if my penny is the real deal? Simple answer, you have to get it checked out. But here's a tip: if you're still using your old high school magnifying glass, you might need to upgrade. You want to make sure it's in mint condition to get top dollar. If it's worn down or has damage, it's not going to be worth the same amount. But, hey, even pennies with minor work can still fetch a few $100. So, if you're sitting on a stash of old coins, don't just toss them in a jar and forget about them. Take a closer look. You could have something worth more than you think. And even if it's not a 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny, who knows? There's a whole world of rare pennies out there. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you found any rare pennies or cool coins that made you do a double take? Drop a comment below and let's swap stories. I promise, no matter how much you know about coins, there's always something new to learn in this world of collecting. Alright, folks, let's wrap this up. The 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny may sound like just another coin, but it's a reminder that sometimes the smallest things can hold the most value. Who knew that a penny could be worth millions, right? So, next time you're digging through change, take a minute to check your pennies. You never know, you could be holding a small piece of history that's worth a fortune. And hey, if you like this video and want to learn more about coins that could change your life, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got a lot more tips, tricks, and coin strategies coming your way. Don't miss out. I'll be here next time with even more tips on turning your pocket change into potential riches. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever stumbled upon a coin that made your heart skip a beat? Maybe you were digging through your spare change and thought, wait, could this be it? Well, if you ever find a 1961 mint mark Lincoln penny, my friend, you might just want to hold on to it. Why? Because this little guy could be worth up to $1.5 million. Yep, you heard that right. We're talking about a penny worth more than a brand new car, more than your last vacation, and probably more than the value of your entire coffee addiction over the past year. Let's dive into why this seemingly humble penny is the golden ticket of the coin world. Okay, so first things first. Why does the 1961 Lincoln penny stand out from all the other pennies? Well, it's all about rarity and the condition of the coin. The 1961 penny with the D mint mark, that's the D on the front side of the penny, near the bottom, was minted in Denver, and there's something about this year that makes it particularly special. You see, the US Mint produced a ton of pennies in 1961, but there was a small batch of coins that ended up with errors. Maybe the die was worn out, or it was just one of those happy accidents of coin production. Some of these pennies have a slight doubling effect on certain features, which makes them highly valuable to collectors who love that little extra something special. It's like finding a vintage pair of sneakers that are a little bit offbeat but exactly what the hardcore sneakerheads are looking for. It's the perfect storm of rarity, condition, and demand. And now, let me tell you a story. A few years back, I was rummaging through a jar of pennies my grandma had saved up. There must have been thousands of them, all collecting dust in the corner of the living room. I thought, why not see if I can find any cool ones for fun? Sure, most of them were just regular pennies, nothing too exciting. But then, I pulled out a 1961 penny. And honestly, I thought it was just another run-of-the-mill coin. But I remembered reading somewhere that coins like this could be worth something, so I decided to do a quick Google search. Well, my jaw hit the floor when I found out that the 1961 penny could fetch anywhere from a few $100 to $1.5 million if it was in perfect condition and had the right characteristics. You better believe I started looking at that penny like it was a lottery ticket. Now, most of us won't find a mint condition 1961 penny worth a small fortune, but you'd be surprised how often these coins pop up in unexpected places. So, keep your eyes peeled. Let's talk about what makes the condition of the penny so important. A coin in mint state, which means it's basically perfect with no scratches, dents, or wear, is the kind of coin you want to look for if you're hoping for big bucks. Think of it like a celebrity autograph. If it's crisp, clean, and flawless, it's worth a lot more than if it's smudged and old. So if you've got a 1961 penny that's seen better days, don't be disappointed. You might still have something cool, but it's not going to be $1 million find unless it's in near-perfect condition. And here's the kicker, the 1961 isn't just valuable because of those oddball errors or its rarity. The value is also tied to the fact that people are just obsessed with collecting pennies from certain years and mints. People will pay top dollar for these babies because they want to complete their collections. It's like how some people collect baseball cards, and they'll fork out a fortune for a rare card from a specific season. It's the thrill of the chase, and, of course, the payoff when you find something special. So there you have it, folks. If you've got a 1961 Lincoln penny in your possession, don't just toss it in your coin jar without a second thought. You might have a small fortune on your hands. Of course, the chances of finding a $1.5 million penny are slim, but hey, stranger things have happened, right? Just like the time I found that penny and thought it was worth maybe a couple of bucks before learning about its true value. Lesson learned: always check your coins. You never know when you might have a hidden treasure on your hands, and if you're hungry for more tips, strategies, and inside secrets about coins that could make you a lot of money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Seriously, you don't want to miss out on the next coin that could change your life. Who knows? Your next treasure hunt could be just a coin flip away. Subscribe now, and I'll keep bringing you more valuable info on the wild world of coins. Hey, coin enthusiasts, and treasure hunters. Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, hey, it's just a penny? Well, let me tell you, sometimes that penny might just be worth a lot more than a cup of coffee. In fact, today we're diving deep into a particular penny that could be worth a whopping $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A 2014 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Stick with me because this penny could be a game changer, and you'll want to know what to look for in your spare change. This isn't just any old copper, it's a penny that could make your wallet sing. And trust me, you won't want to miss this. Grab your magnifying glasses and your best coin collecting friend, because we're about to go on a coin collecting adventure, so let's start with the basics. The 2014 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny is part of the famous series that features none other than the 16th president himself, Abraham Lincoln. The D-Mint mark means this penny was minted in Denver. And now, here's the mind-blowing part, these pennies, in certain conditions, can go for as much as $1.60 million. Well, let me walk you through it. Normally, pennies are just pennies. We find them all over the place. They're cute, they're small, and they rarely hold any kind of serious value beyond their face value of 1 cent. But when something goes wrong, or rather, something rare happens, those pennies can skyrocket in value. That's when collectors start to salivate to eye. In the case of the 2014 D Lincoln penny, we're talking about an error coin. This penny has a mistake that can make it extraordinarily valuable. These errors happen during the minting process, and when they do, they can turn an ordinary penny into something that collectors would pay an arm and a leg for. The one that's fetching $1.6 million is a penny with a double die error, where the image of Abraham Lincoln is doubled on the coin. Alright, let's break this down a bit more. A double die error happens when the design of the coin is stamped twice, causing the image to appear doubled. It's a mistake during the minting process, but for collectors, it's like finding a gold mine. And trust me, they go crazy for these types of errors. It's like when you find that one sock that somehow survived the laundry monster, a little weird, but totally worth holding onto. So, if you've got a 2014 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny and you notice that Lincoln's face is looking a little too sharp, or the date is doubled, you might be holding a small fortune in your hand. I mean, let's be real, how many pennies do you own that could make you a millionaire? Now, you're probably asking, okay, how do I know if my penny is worth that much? Great question. This is where it gets tricky because, in order for your penny to be worth $1.6 million, it needs to be in mint condition. We're talking about a coin that looks like it was just freshly minted, even though it's over a decade old now. I know what you're thinking. How can a penny that's been hanging out in my wallet for years possibly be in mint condition? Well, here's where you need to keep an eye out for the details. The double die error will be visible with the naked eye, so look closely at Lincoln's portrait, the date, and the words "In God We Trust" for any signs of doubling. If you spot it, it could be a big deal. Let me tell you about something that happened to me recently. I was rummaging through a pile of old coins my grandmother gave me years ago, basically, the stuff you toss in a jar and forget about. You know the kind, right? A mix of pennies, nickels, and random dimes. I was just chilling, going through them, when bam! I found a coin that caught my eye. I didn't think much of it at first, but then I noticed something odd about the date. Sure enough, it was a coin with a double die error. Now, I didn't get $1.6 million for it, but the excitement was real. I mean, who knew that the coins I'd ignored all these years could be worth anything at all? And that's the thing with collecting, sometimes, you just have to pay attention to the details, like that one penny you're holding right now. So go ahead, give those old pennies in your jar another look. You might just stumble upon something incredible. If you think you found something like this, you should definitely get it appraised. I mean, don't just take my word for it. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or even send it to a professional grading service to get an official value. Trust me, it's worth it to know exactly what you've got. Also, remember, it's not just about this particular penny. The world of coin collecting is full of valuable pieces, so always keep your eyes peeled. Who knows, your next trip to the grocery store could lead to a find worth thousands or even millions of dollars. Alright, let's wrap it up, folks. The 2014 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny is just one of those coins that proves you should never underestimate the power of a penny. If you've got one with a double die error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, what's the takeaway? Keep an eye on your change. Check your old coins. And most importantly, subscribe to my channel for more tips on how to find coins worth big bucks. I'm always on the hunt for the next rare gem, and you should be too. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome coin tips. Who knows? The next $1 million coin might just be in your pocket right now. Hey, coin lovers! Have you ever thought you were holding on to just a regular penny, only to find out it's worth a small fortune? Well, today's story is about one penny that's definitely not your average 1-cent piece. Grab your magnifying glasses because we're about to dive into the world of the 2005 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, which, believe it or not, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.70 million. I mean, who knew pennies could make you a millionaire, right? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just have a whole new outlook on that jar of change you've got sitting around at home, alright? So let's start with the basics. Most of us don't give a second thought to pennies, right? We drop them on the ground, ignore them in our pockets, and just move on with our lives. But that could change real quick if you happen to stumble across a 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, why does a penny from 2005, basically a recent coin, carry such a hefty price tag? You'd think with all the pennies the US mints every year, that they'd all be, well, worth a penny. But this little guy's story is anything but ordinary. So, here's the deal. In 2005, most pennies were stamped with the D or P mint marks, basically a little stamp showing where the coin was made. But guess what? Some pennies from that year were minted without a mint mark. And when that happens, it's a rare thing, my friends. A real treasure hiding in plain sight. This happens more often than you'd think, but not all no mint mark pennies are worth millions, so don't go dumping your entire coin collection into a bathtub of water, hoping for magic to happen. But this particular penny, one that slipped through the cracks of the minting process, has become incredibly valuable due to its rarity. It's like finding the unicorn of pennies. Here's the kicker: since the US Mint only made a few of these 2005 no-mint mark pennies, they're super rare. And it's that rarity that drives up their price. Coin collectors and investors are willing to pay big bucks for something that was supposed to be just another penny. And here we are, talking about a $1.7 million coin. I know, it sounds crazy. But here's the thing: rarity equals value. That's the name of the game in the world of coin collecting. And if you've got one of these bad boys tucked away in your collection, you might want to start treating it like it's $1 million, because, well, it could be. Okay, so here's a funny personal story. I once found a penny in my couch cushions. I was doing some spring cleaning, or, more accurately, trying to avoid doing actual work, and I just reached in and pulled out a handful of random change. Among the usual suspects, nickels, dimes, and a couple of crumpled up receipts, there was this shiny penny that just seemed different. At first, I didn't think much of it. I mean, it was just a penny, right? But something about it caught my eye. So I took out my trusty magnifying glass and, lo and behold, it had a strange mint mark, or, more precisely, no mint mark at all. Oh, now, before you start rushing to check every single penny in your couch, I didn't end up with a $1 million coin. But I did end up with a good story to tell. And let me tell you, I felt like a millionaire for about 5 minutes. You know, just holding on to a coin that could have been worth something. If you've ever found an old coin or a rare one by accident, you know that feeling. It's like striking gold, even if it's just a glimmer. And now, let's talk about how you can spot one of these valuable 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies. First, look at the date. It'll say 2005, but remember, not every 2005 penny is going to be this rare. You're looking for the absence of a mint mark. If it doesn't have the D for Denver or P for Philadelphia on the reverse side, that's your clue. Another thing to keep in mind is the condition of the penny. If your 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln penny looks like it's been through the wars, scratched, dented, or corroded, it's probably not going to fetch $1 million. Coin collectors care a lot about condition, so a well-preserved penny is going to be worth way more than a beaten-up one. But it's not just about rarity and condition. Collectors love a good story. The fact that these pennies were a mistake, something that slipped through the cracks, makes them even more valuable. It's like the underdog of the coin world, and people love an underdog. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, but what are the chances of me finding a penny worth $1.7 million just lying around? Well, the chances might be slim, but they're not zero. Keep your eyes peeled, and who knows? You might be one penny away from becoming a millionaire. So, let's wrap it up. The 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those rare finds that could turn a casual coin collection into a treasure chest. If you've got one, you might just be sitting on a goldmine, figuratively speaking, of course. But even if you don't, this is a good reminder to pay attention to the small things. You never know when something that seems insignificant might actually be worth millions. Before you go running off to check your pennies, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss another video on coins worth money. I'll be back with more tips, tricks, and strategies to help you turn your change into some serious cash. And hey, if you ever find a 2005 no mint mark penny, drop me a comment. Let's celebrate your newfound fortune together. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this little thing is just, well, a little thing? I mean, pennies are practically the definition of pocket change, right? But let me tell you, there's a certain penny out there that's worth a whopping $1.8 million. Yep, you heard that right, a single penny, $1.8 million. Sounds too good to be true? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the story of the 1991 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and trust me, this one is a game-changer. So, if you've got any spare pennies hanging around, or maybe just your curiosity, stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be checking your change more closely. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's break this down. The 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just your average coin. This bad boy has been known to fetch up to $1.8 million at auction. Now, I can hear you saying, but I've seen tons of 1991 pennies in my pocket. Yeah, most of them are worth just 1 cent. But what makes this particular penny stand out is a pretty awesome story. You see, in 1991, some pennies came out with no mint mark. Normally, you'll find a mint mark on a coin, right? That little rarest tells you where it was made, like a little birth certificate for the coin. But the 1991 no mint mark penny is a rarity. It's one of those mistake coins that collectors just can't get enough of. If you ever find one, it's like finding a golden ticket, only in the form of copper. Let me tell you a quick story. I remember when I first heard about this penny. I was at a coin shop, yeah, I'm that nerd, and I overheard two collectors talking about how they had just spotted a 1991 no mint mark penny at an auction. One of them mentioned how they'd been hunting for one for years. And there I was, thinking, wow, I've been using these things as actual change and not as million-dollar treasures. Classic me, right, but what makes this penny even more fascinating is how rare it is. The thing is, these no mint mark pennies were part of a batch from the Philadelphia Mint. Most of the time, coins that come from Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but the weird part was, the 1991 penny was supposed to have a mint mark, and some didn't. That mistake made them incredibly valuable to collectors who were on the hunt for this type of error coin. And now, I know what you're probably thinking, what makes this penny worth $1.8 million? What is it, magic? Well, not quite magic, but a rare coin error is like finding a 4-leaf clover in a field of 3s. They're super rare, and when they do show up, collectors are more than ready to fight for them. There's a whole subculture of coin collectors who specialize in error coins. They know the value of a tiny detail, and that little no mint mark on the 1991 penny makes it one of the most sought-after coins in the world. But why, you ask? Well, it's all about rarity, desirability, and condition. The more rare, the more valuable, and if it's in perfect condition, that price tag just shoots through the roof. You also have to think about how many people actually know about the value of these rare pennies. Imagine you're walking down the street, and you find a 1991 penny in a puddle. You pick it up, look at it, and think, it's just a penny. But you don't know it's worth a fortune. That's where collectors shine. They have the knowledge, the patience, and the eagle-eyed ability to spot something that could potentially set them up for life. And that's why I'm here, giving you the inside scoop, so you can stay one step ahead in your coin hunting journey. Now, before you go diving into your piggy bank or raiding your coin jar, let's wrap this up. If you're lucky enough to stumble across a 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny, congratulations. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. But even if you don't, it's always good to stay aware of the incredible value that certain coins can hold. Plus, it's just plain fun to look at your coins in a whole new light. So, the next time you're holding a penny in your hand, remember, you might just be holding more than just pocket change. You could be holding the key to your next big treasure. I mean, who knew that those little copper coins could lead to big jackpots, right? And hey, if you enjoyed this little trip into the world of rare pennies, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories to share with you about coins worth money and strategies to spot them. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next coin discovery that could be worth millions.